Hello and welcome, Luke Malevich here with Trombone World, and today we're simply going to talk about how to empty the water key on a trombone. Now, as always, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. And also, please don't forget to share the videos with anybody that you think is going to find them helpful. So here we go. This is how you empty the water key on a trombone. Pick it up, give it a little shake, and that's it. You're done. So then why is the video not over? Well, simply because I'm going to explain to you why I find this to be the most efficient method of emptying the water key, and also show you a few of the different ways throughout the years that I've seen students try to empty the water key, and not just beginners. I've seen this in all levels, particularly beginners, but also all the way up to high school. Let's start with when you should empty the water key on your trombone. And that's, for me, depends on how long you've been playing. I like to do it every few minutes just to make sure, but if I'm playing longer, I might do it in the middle of a tune, things like that. Definitely before I stand up to take a solo, but it's much more frequently than you think. When you start to play, if you find yourself making this sound, that definitely means you've gone too long and emptying the water key, and you can actually hear the water in the slide when you play. So you want to make sure you do that beforehand. And even if you start to play and you hear that, empty it right away. There's no reason to continue playing because it's going to interfere with the sound of the instrument. Now let's talk about gravity for a moment. Everybody knows where gravity is. It's going to pull things straight down at the lowest point, which means for our instrument that in order for the slide to empty the most effectively, we want to make sure that the water and everything that's inside is concentrated right where the opening is on the water key, which for me happens to be right here. If I were to take this trombone and angle it in any other way, what would happen is the water that should be at the point here is going to end up somewhere else. At this point, it might be somewhere around here. If I tilt it this way, it's going to end up somewhere around here, which then means I'm much less likely to be able to empty out the water key, or hardly at all, unless I blow air through the instrument, which I still do sometimes, but really it's not necessary. If you point the instrument straight down, right where the hole is, and simply press the water key, everything's going to come out with just a shake or two, and it doesn't require you to actually move any air through the instrument. So let me demonstrate. So I've added some water to my slide. Now let's see what happens. If I hold it straight down, there's nothing that's going to come up. Even if I angle it here, you can see the water is going to be concentrated right at this spot. And again, a little bit might come out depending on how much is in there, but more than likely you're not going to get much. Just a little bit. Now let's see what happens if I point the opening right at the ground here. You can see a lot more came out. And then really there's no need to do anything else. You'd be done. Now let me talk about some of the ways that I've seen players empty their water key. And probably the most common is to point the instrument maybe here, even here, and I definitely have seen, even recently, students pointing the instrument directly at the ground and just forcing air through to try to get that water to come out, which will still leave something for you here. What I've seen sometimes in some of my beginners, ones that can't reach the water key lever when their lips are on the mouthpiece, well, they do think that they need to first of all move the air in order to empty out the slide, but they can't reach this part. They'll actually take their foot and try with their shoe to get this part to open up, which poses a couple different dangers. One, they're more than likely going to bend this part here, or they might even snap it and get it to come off. I've seen that happen. It's a possibility. And really, they don't need to do that. All you have to do, regardless of how tall you are, is just to take your left hand, bring the instrument closer to you, and you have all the space you need to reach that spot right here. And just press the water key and empty it out. That's all that's really necessary. And that's about it for the video today. Just be sure when you empty out your water key that you're pointing the opening straight at the ground, and you'll be just fine, and gravity's going to take over and do everything for you.